Today we're taking a look at these college basketball matches, which are happening on Saturday, March 4, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comments section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comments section below. TCU vs Oklahoma. After dominating in the first meeting of the season between these two teams, the Horned Frogs won't have any issues covering and coming away with a win on the road in this one. They dominated the offensive and defensive glass in the first meeting, and there's no doubt that they'll ensure that's the case in the rematch. For TCU, having Miles Jr. hitting full stride has been key, and with both teams going in opposite directions, the Horned Frogs will be able to keep their momentum and confidence going in the right direction. Oklahoma lacks a strong home court advantage, and that'll hurt them in this one too. Additionally, according to Covers.com, Oklahoma is 1-4 at TS in their last 5 home games against a team with a losing road record. Our team pick is TCU -2 points. TCU has no issue pushing the pace and getting involved in an up-and-down affair. OU would prefer to slow the game down and work in the half court. I typically gravitate toward the slower team controlling the pace, as one can't force another to speed up, while walking the ball up the court inevitably slows the pace. Further, OU is at home and should be able to dictate the pace in that regard as well. While both offenses prefer to generate points down low, each team has done well to hold opponents under 60% near the basket. Each team has also defended the perimeter well to boot. The last game between these two had 69 possessions, above OU's average and right at TCU's, and the game still stayed under this total by 10 points. It isn't likely this time around we see the same pace. The play is the under 141 points. St. John's vs Marquette. We have a potential for a track meet between these two teams, as each team has plenty of firepower on the offensive end of the floor. St. John's has had their issues on the road, posting a 3-7 mark on the season, and their defense has been brutal this season. Marquette, while they have nothing to play for, will want to maintain their momentum heading into the Big East tournament next week and to send the fans home happy on senior night. The Golden Eagles took the first meeting by 11 on the road in Queens earlier this season, and there's little reason to think that the Red Storm will fare much better here. Take Marquette here as they earn their 6th straight victory. Our team pick is Marquette Golden Eagles -11 points. Marquette won their 5th straight game as they rolled past Butler on the road in their previous game. The Golden Eagles ran their record to 24-6 overall, and they have won the Big East regular season crown as they are 16-3 on the season. Against Butler, Marquette used a 10-0 run to break a 6-6 tie, keeping Butler scoreless for more than 8 minutes, and was often running from there. The Golden Eagles led by 14 at the half and never led the Bulldogs closer than 11 the rest of the way. Marquette shot 55.6% from the field, including 7 of 20 from three-point range, and controlled the boards by a 31-24 margin. Tyler Kolek led the Golden Eagles with 21 points and 10 assists in the win. Our total pick is over. Indiana State vs Bradley. Bradley wasn't sharp in their quarterfinal win against Northern Iowa. The Braves barely beat a Panther team that has struggled all year. The break after the end of the regular season hurt the Braves. Indiana State was the much sharper team in their impressive quarterfinal win against a tough Belmont team. The Sycamores' offense should enable them to cover the spread in this game. Our team pick is Indiana State. Both of these teams are also very strong defensively and in good form right now. Bradley has held opponents to 39.9% shooting from the field, and Indiana State has limited teams to 42.4% shooting this year. Bradley is also 282nd out of 363 teams in adjusted tempo. This should be a slower paced and lower scoring game. Our total pick is under the total. Florida State vs Virginia Tech. Florida State has struggled this season, especially down the stretch run, as they have lost 8 of their last 10 games. But then they pull a shocking upset over Miami, and then they make a run against UNC before losing. So they can be a dangerous team. But there is nothing to play for other than pride. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech does have something to play for. While an NCAA tournament berth is unlikely, they have a good shot at playing in the postseason, so this is a game they need to lock up. Plus, they are good at home, where they are 12-4 on the season. Florida State, on the other hand, lost 7 of their last 8 against the spread. Take Virginia Tech minus 9.5 points here. The numbers say to take the over. Both teams have an over-under split weighted heavily in favor of the over this season. Virginia Tech split is 18/12, while Florida State's is 17/12. The over has hit in 8 out of Virginia Tech's last 10 games. In the Seminoles' last 10 games, the over-under is 7-1 in favor of the over. Florida State plays at the nation's 86th ranked adjusted tempo, according to KenPom, so the Seminoles should keep this game moving at a fast pace. Virginia Tech's three-point shooters should have success against a weak Florida State defense, so I think points are going to come in flurries. I'll side with the over 150.5 points. Ole Miss vs Missouri. These two teams have split the last 10 meetings, but Missouri is the vastly superior team this season. The Tigers are scoring over 80 points per game, including 89 points in the first matchup this season at Ole Miss. Missouri is 15-3 at home this season, while Ole Miss is just 2-8 on the road. Additionally, Ole Miss is 0-15 as an underdog this season. Ole Miss is just 5-12 at TS in the last 17 games, and the Rebels are also just 1-4 at TS in the last 5 games against Missouri. The Tigers will overwhelm Ole Miss with a powerful offensive attack and cruise to an easy win here to help solidify their tournament standing. Take Missouri minus 9.5 points. Ole Miss has gone over in 4 of their previous 5 games and 5 straight on the road. Ole Miss and Missouri currently rank 221st and 63rd in pace of play respectively. The Tigers have gone under the point total in 4 of the past 5 games, but they have scored 81 or more points in 3 of their past 5 games. The last matchup between these two teams went over the point total, 143.5 total points scored. Most signs point to a higher scoring affair. Look for this game to go over 148.5 points. Kansas vs Texas. These are two teams trending in opposite directions at the moment. Kansas struggled early on this season, including its first home loss in 2 seasons, but has hit its stride at the perfect time. Despite already clinching the Big 12 regular season crown and the number 1 seed in the Big 12 tournament, the Jayhawks still have something to play for. With a win here and a strong showing in the Big 12 tournament, the Jayhawks are right in line to earn a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament field. Kansas took the first matchup, 88-80, at home versus the Longhorns. Kansas's defense, ranked first in the Big 12 in opponents' field goal percentage, will pose a problem for a Texas offense that has not gone past 73 points in 3 straight games. The number 1 ranked rebounding team in the conference, Kansas will limit the Longhorns' second chance opportunities. Additionally, Kansas is 4-1 at TS in its last 5 games on the road. Our team pick is Kansas plus 3.5 points. Both teams have over-under splits this season that favor the over. For Kansas, the over has hit 16 out of 30 times, and for Texas, 16 out of 28. The Longhorns have a very powerful offense, while the Jayhawks rely more on a balanced approach. In the end, I expect the over to hit since these are the 2 best shooting teams in the Big 12, and they both rank inside the top 75 nationally in terms of KenPom's adjusted tempo. When they got together in Lawrence, Texas, and Kansas combined for 168 points. The Longhorns' up-tempo, the efficient offense will be on full display again at home, where they've averaged just under 84 points per game over their last 3 games. I'll take the over 149 points. San Jose State vs Air Force. Both of these teams have been much better at home all year. Air Force is 10-8 at home, while San Jose State is just 4-8 on the road. The Spartans beat the Falcons by 30 points in the previous matchup between these teams. Air Force should be focused here. SJSU has been inconsistent offensively this year. In addition to struggling on the road, the Falcons' defense should be able to limit the Spartans in this matchup. Our team pick is Air Force minus 2.5 points. Air Force has been a very slow-tempo team all year. The Falcons are 348 out of 363 teams in adjusted tempo, and the home team usually dictates pace. SJSU has also been inconsistent offensively. In addition to struggling on the road, the Spartans are shooting just 43.7% this year. This should be a slower tempo and lower scoring game. Take the under 128.5 points. VCU vs George Washington. George Washington is playing their best basketball of the season. The Colonials have been inconsistent this year, but they come into this game on a 4-game winning streak. George Washington has also been much better at home all season. The Colonials are 11-5 at home and just 5-6 on the road. George Washington has also been better offensively than VCU this year. The Colonials should be able to cover the spread in this matchup. Take George Washington plus 7.5 points. Both of these teams are strong offensively, and each team is in good form right now as well. George Washington is shooting 47.4% from the field this year, and VCU is shooting 45.9%. The Colonials have also been an up-tempo team this year, and the home team usually dictates pace. George Washington is 68 out of 363 teams in the nation in adjusted tempo. Take the over 146.5 points. Stanford vs Oregon. Both teams have won 2 in a row, and while Stanford is under .500 on the season, Oregon is sitting on the big dance bubble. They lost to the Cardinal earlier this season on the road where they struggled to shoot the pill, but they shot over 58% from the floor in their last game and will shoot well at home in this game. Stanford was impressive in their last game, but like the Ducks, they played a weak team. That game was on the road, but facing a good home team in Oregon, they will have issues on both sides of the floor. The Ducks will not blow a chance to get a win in their last game of the regular season, and they will get the W and cover the spread. Take Oregon minus 6.5 points. The total went under in the first matchup between these teams, and that is the pick I am leaning toward in this game. Neither team is a high-scoring one, but both are solid defensive teams. The Ducks did not shoot well in their first game of the season facing Stanford, but they will shoot the pill well at home in this game. They will also play good D facing a Stanford team that only has 2 players averaging in double figures. Look for a lower scoring and slower paced game in this regular season finale for both teams, which is why the under is the pick. Take the under 141.5 points.